to. Now, we're catching up. We will have Dr. Nadine Shema, who will speak to us on the resettlement of immigrants in Australia from the Great Lakes of Africa. She is from Rwanda, and so I'll let her tell you what other information about the Great Lakes of Africa. GLAPD, the Great Lakes Agency. No, I've forgotten it now, so I'll let her to introduce you. GLAPD. Put your hands together.
Thank you very much.
In a beautiful outfit.
Thank you, Effie. Yeah, it's a Great Lakes Agency for Peace and Development. Yeah, I would like to thank Dr. Effie first for this opportunity. I think this is the third time that she's inviting me to speak at different events. So I think it's a very good opportunity for us to promote our organization as well as advocating for our communities. So she asked me to speak about resettlement of people from the Great Lakes. I think I'll have to focus on women because it's about International Women's Day. But I don't think women have different problems than men. I think it's quite similar, and I think it's not really special compared to other countries. A little bit of a background about our organization. I think some of you have heard about it because I've spoken. This is the third time here, and I've been promoting this organization. So it's the Great Lakes Agency for Peace and Development. It's an organization which has just started 2 years ago. It's new. And our target communities are communities from the Great Lakes. I don't know if I can put the PowerPoint just to show you the full country to fit in a new country with a new people, a new culture. So another program that we do, we also do information sessions on different matters. We also do some excursion. We try to get them from isolation and take them somewhere where they have to face those people who are different or have different cultures to them, and then they can live together for a few days, share food, share cultures, and try to make them somehow, more open and more confident to work or to be with others as well. We also do community consultations. We go deep in the communities to search or to learn really what's happening there and what are the problems, so that in opportunities like these or others, we can go and say, in our communities we have these problems. I will tell you some of those problems here, even though maybe I can have some solutions or not any solution, but we never know. When you put the problem out there, you never know it reaches, because I don't know who are here. Maybe someone will be sitting here. I was happy to hear that Duncan works in microloans, microfinances, and that is one of the problems that our community people mentioned to us, that if they would afford to have small loans, they would do something. Yeah. So what I did to get accurate information about what are the issues in communities, especially for women, I did a short survey in those trainings, workshops we were running for the past 2 months, to ask the women what are the problems, what they think would be the solution to their problems. I posted on our Facebook page a few questions, just people to comment on that. We have a settlement grant program which is run in our office. So we have a caseworker. We really thank the government that provided us a grant to support our community. So through the reports we've been doing, they have some reports that women have few problems. as well as personal experience. I'll meet some women that ask her or ask them what are the problems anyway. So the main problem they have, it's a language barrier. That's the really huge problem. At least like 80% of the women that I asked, they say this is a very big problem. Then I asked them, but I think there's a program that everyone who is settled in Australia have 520 hours of learning English at stake. So that didn't really help. So they said, we're gonna be a little bit critical about that. Of course, we did 520 hours, but we think that after those hours, we're not at all confident, with our English, So I said, what is the problem? What do you think is the problem? They said, maybe it would be better to revise or to review that program, because it's like there's more emphasis on attendance than the deliverables of what those hours should do. And the other problem is, when you talk by someone who speaks in English, obviously, which is a language that I don't know, I'm learning English, I don't know I don't know anything about English, and I'm told by someone who speaks only English, it's very difficult. Because if I have a question, I can't even express my problem, where I have troubles, So what we choose to do is just keep quiet, and the teacher talks, and after time we go home, and then tomorrow we come back after 500 hours. That's it, we get our certificate, but there is nothing, Yeah. So they gave a suggestion. They said it would be better if we were taught by someone who knows a second language, So then they said maybe the government should look for competent organization that could maybe run those classes, and we think it will be more efficient than what we're doing. So I don't know if there's anyone here who can take that somewhere and have some good, impact after. So the other problem they said, it's that culture transition problem, because especially we've been talking about the right of women and girls. Here, when people arrive here in Australia, some of them just want to keep their culture. And in many African cultures, women are the ones to do the tough work at home, And you have a family with 6 children, maybe 2 girls and 4 boys, and the parents, obviously. But the parent will never encourage the boys to do, for example, housework. It's no, that's not for boys, and parents support that. And when the young girls reach here, they're busy. They have to study, they have to work, the same as their brothers. But they're also expected when they reach home to do everything. So some of the girls, I remember when we did a consultation in Wollongong, there's a big community of Congolese over there. And everyone was expressing what's the problems. And when old women just stand up and say, of course, we arrived in Australia, we are very happy that we don't have any more war, we can sleep and wake up in the morning, but I'm very disappointed because our children here, they really lost the culture, that's what she said. They say, what happened? The girls, they no longer listen to me, When they come home, I tell them to do this, they say, why not the brother does that? Because in our culture, boys don't do that at home, Then I said, maybe the problem is not only the children, but it's also the parents. They need to understand that they came into a new environment. Maybe at home there, girls are not going to school and they were at home, they were supposed to do that because maybe they're not considered at the same level as the brothers, But now here things are different, you know. So we said we should put more emphasis in educating parents as well as the children. The other thing is that problem of unemployment. I think that is caused essentially because most of the people are not educated, and so they can't afford to go to compete for a job somewhere, and so they just choose to stay at home. But some of the women told me, you know, when I used to live, when I was in Congo or when I was in Rwanda, I used to do small business. So I'll buy stuff like groceries or clothes, and I would sell them to my friends, you know, in the neighborhood, and I was really successful. But here, it's not possible because I can't get a loan, because I don't work, I just live on Centrelink money, and Centrelink money is just, you know, exact to live for that day, and, you know, and then you wait for tomorrow. But you can't do anything out of that money. So they said, I know I have in my country, say I have a hand of business, which means some people have like that gift, talent for business, and others don't. So the woman was like, I know I have this hand of business. If I touch money, everything I do succeeds. So I'm very happy to meet that. Then maybe we'll talk about it later, if he can also support our women. This will be a very, very good, big contribution to that. Yeah. The other big problem we have also is mental health issues. As I told you, most, or if not all of the women or the people coming from our country went through very, very tough times. And most of them, they don't recognize their mental health status, if it has problem or not. So in my country, in our country back home, if you hear someone saying, that person has a mental case or has a mental health problem, so they immediately relate it to like craziness. I don't know how, you know, that's schizophrenia, those kind of psychosis, but they can't know that depression or trauma, it's something which can really affect their lives. Or maybe they can call it like, no, you know, that person is always quiet, doesn't like to talk, that's his nature, but they don't know that it's caused maybe by what's happened in his life. So we also run mental health conferences for our communities, and that really helps them to recognize if they have an issue with that, so that we can even refer them to a service or counseling or treatment, something like that, or to also help them to help others to recognize if they have such a problem. I think those were the main problems. So that was one group. Especially those are the people who came as refugees resettled from a refugee camp somewhere. They've been living for how many years after fleeing, you know, in their country. They go in a refugee camp, spend like 3, 5, 7, 10 years there. Then they are resettled. They say, okay, now you have a new country. That's Australia. Then they come here. So we have another small population of our community for people who just came, I would say, voluntarily to Australia. They chose to come to Australia. Those ones too have some problems. So compared to the first group, these people, most of them, they're educated. They have tertiary education. They have university level of education. But the main problem that they face when they get here is the recognition of their qualifications. So which means when they get here, they say, yeah, you're a doctor, but you're not a doctor here. That's happened to me. So, so to be a doctor here, you have to go through exams, you have to go through tests, and that is very expensive, and that's it. So some of them did that, and the other problem was like, after getting your qualifications approved, you need to get a job now. So that was another problem, to get a job